Well, hey everybody, it's the 17th day of May 2026. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Well, I hope you've had a good week. I decided to take Mother's Day off, I don't know, last Sunday. Seemed like the thing to do. I got to talk to my grandkids. That was very cool. So, I hope if you celebrated Mother's Day, your day went well. My husband made a blueberry cheesecake. Took us all week to eat it. It was really good, though. Anyhow, let's start out the reading with Rado. Rado is the fifth rune from the Elder Futhark. Kind of looks like the letter R in a way. It's actually a bind rune. You can see Isa over here. You can see Laguz here. You can see Vunyo here. You've got Kenaz reversed, Kenaz forward, and Kenaz skewed again there. So you've got a lot of energies that go into Rado, but essentially Rado means rider and horse. And so if you think about that, you're really thinking about integration with other people. Or you could integrating the soul with the physical reality. You could look at it that way as well. It's about process over goal, harmonious movement, rhythm, cycles. It's an air element rune. So it's that communication you have with others and within that keeps you going in a harmonious way. The goal is always a factor, right? But it's how you get there that matters. And it's that instinctive awareness you have when you collaborate with others, when you're on the same page, that really makes that experience a positive one. Let's take a look at the Geomancy runes. I'll throw the 4 elementals down and see what we come up with. See, there's earth, there's air, fire, and water. So we're looking at Carcer. Carcer is like a little bird cage. So it's basically keeping yourself stuck in a self-imposed restriction or self-imprisoned in a way. Say with the perceptions that you have, you can't seem to get out of that bubble or that bird cage that you're in. It's considered a very negative influence because you're not allowing the rest of your awareness to sort of guide you. So the higher awareness is not guiding you at all with Carcer. And again, it's being stuck in that bubble of perception so that you can't really see the forest for the trees. You can't see the bigger picture. You might be somebody that is afraid to step outside your comfort zone. That could also mean Carcer on the extreme end of it. Sometimes there's a reason why you feel the way you do, but at the same time, do you really want to be stuck there? And it can keep you from integrating with others in a way that's positive and creative and harmonious. So that may be the challenge here today or for the next week between Rado and Carcer. Are you able to get outside your comfort zone and be able to work with other people or integrate with other people so that you have this collective sense of shared purpose and shared success instead of just being stuck in one mode of operation and you can't really get out of it. But let's take a look at the cards and see what they have to say. See if they're going to align with this or if we have to make a different premise here as we start. I've already done some shuffling, so that's all I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut the deck and take the lower half and draw 3 cards. Now, we have the suit of wands, the suit of pentacles, and the suit of swords represented here. There's no major arcana, but there is one from the court, the Knight of Wands. And I think that let's start with, let's go ahead and do the numerology first. We've got the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. So right there with the two, you're looking at a decision that needs to be made in a way that's practical and in spite of the emotions or fear you might be feeling. And so if we are talking about Carcer and stepping outside your comfort zone so you can work together with other people, that might be the decision that needs to be made here, with your back turned toward the emotional waves behind you, that might keep you in a place where it might feel comfortable, but there's no real challenge in life if you stay there. There's no way to pursue a new path, for example, that could be a whole lot more satisfying than the one you're on. But let's do the numerology. Where is my calculator? There it is. So Rado again was the 5th rune, plus the 10 here. The court doesn't have any number associated with it. There's 2. So there we're talking 17, the same as today's date. Let me do it one more time. 5 plus 10 plus 2. Yes, 17. So 8 then would be the overall numerology here for the reading. 8 is about leadership. It's about material recognition and approval. It's about greater harmony. Did I say leadership? It's basically also inner strength, but it's basically rising to the occasion and taking better control over things in your life, maybe. That might be one way to look at the 8. You look at an 8 as sort of represented by this lemnis gate that the juggler is juggling the 2 coins with. If you turn it there, you've got an 8. You see it also on the magician's head, over the magician's head. You see the lemnis gate there, about the eternal manifestation that we engage in all the lifetimes that we have. But again, though, you're weighing out in terms of the 2. 2 is about love. It's about balance, reciprocity, healing, wellness. But it's also about making decisions. And here we have with the juggler here, to let go of fear, turn your back against it, the emotions that might be coming up for you if you're kind of hesitant to step outside whatever comfort zone you're in, to try something new, to try to move along into a new opportunity or onto a new path or what have you. To do that, though, here we have the 10 of Swords. Now, I know this looks bad, but it's really not. You're looking at the beginning of a new day. You don't see the sun, but you do see the yellow sky over here. And the night is lifting. 10 is about, if you don't reduce it to 1, it's about endings and beginnings. But again, with the 1, it's also about new beginnings. But you're letting go of perceptions that no longer serve you. And you see this guy here, and again, it looks bad because, 10 swords piercing your back on the ground there. But his head is turned toward the light. You see the emotions here with the water. It's all smooth, so you don't have anything, emotional happening like you do with the 2. But that's trying to influence, in other words, the decision that you want to make. But here, you've let go of all of that. You've let go of the perceptions that no longer serve you, and you've turned your face to the light to begin a new period in your life. And again, you may still want to make that decision in a very practical way with pentagram. With pentacles, you're looking at the pentagram here encased in a circle, which makes a pentacle, and that can be very grounding with the earth element here. Pentacles is about the earth element, whereas this is air with swords, and you have the Knight of Wands here. With the club or the staff. It looks more like a club here, but we can't really see it. It could be a staff that's just not appearing there. But say it's just a club. That represents the fire element in the suit of wands. But maybe starting with the idea of making a different decision in a practical way, in an earthy way, one that favors structure and organization, and you understand where everything is. It's about your material security, and so maybe with this idea of having to make a different decision here between Rado and Carcer. Are you going to start a new journey with somebody else? Are you, or a group of someone else's, in a collaborative type of thing? Or are you just trying to find some harmony in the integrating the greater aspect of self with the one that doesn't want to come out of the bubble? Okay, so it could be something like that. If not, then it could indicate that maybe a new path is opening where you're going to take on a partner. You and a partner are going to pursue something new together, or it could be a collaborative experience with more than one person, if it's at a current job or something. But it just seems to me that this is kind of a big deal when you're trying to let go of perceptions that no longer serve you and turn your face to the light, and you've made that choice to do so in a very practical, dispassionate way here with the Two of Pentacles. And again, Pentacles could have to do with your foundation, or it could do with material security, which, I mean, they dovetail together, but not necessarily. But it could be that. And when you have the Knight of Wands here, maybe you are ready to go on a spiritual quest, if you will. You see the three pyramids here, that generally indicates the Holy Land, and so you're going to think spirituality or a spiritual journey or quest. But it's passionate, it's action oriented, you're going to make progress. And so maybe this just takes you into a whole other place than you've normally been accustomed to, or maybe you've just been too afraid to move forward onto something else that may seem like it's a little bit scary, or maybe it represents a loss of control, especially if you're going to have a partner with you. Maybe you feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to do that because maybe they'll take all of my choices from me. Well, it doesn't seem to indicate that. It seems like whatever you're dealing with the Carcer rune here, it's time to let go of those perceptions that hold you back, and make the decision that you need to make without fear, and understand that this could give you a whole new foundation. It could give you a whole new level of material security if it's opening a new business, or that could be quite lucrative, and don't be afraid. Take the action you need to take. I guess express the passion that you have, and move forward in a way that maybe lets go of the ego a little bit and embraces a higher vision for yourself, where it's a more spiritual type of a resonance instead of the ego-based fear that keeps you inside the bubble with Carcer. You see what I'm saying? It's hard sometimes. It's hard to take another step in a different direction that you've never been down before. And, that road is new, and that opportunity is new, and you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be. But if you take the emotion out of it, if you take the fear out of it, maybe you're able to see opportunities like you will with the Knight of Wands, that could further you along a path that is maybe a little more spiritual in nature, one that relies on higher consciousness a little bit more, and the trust in the path that you're supposed to be on. Maybe it's been tapping you on the shoulder for a little while, and you just have been too immersed in the Carcer energy to not be able to even take a look and say, well, what do you want? What's coming my way? I'm not going to do that. Well, what if you did? Like I say, here we have the end of one phase and the beginning of another, and maybe the end of the Carcer phase here and the beginning of the Rado phase in your life, where you're willing to seek a different balance, a different type of integration, even if it's just talking about integration within yourself. But to me, I think that there's something about this that could have to do with something collaborative and integrative with somebody else, or several partners here. So if it's within an existing work situation, maybe a new project's coming your way and that you might have been hesitant to take on, but the light is lifting. The night is lifting, the light is returning, I should say, not the light is lifting, but the night is lifting and the day is returning. And the new and the light that the man on the ground here is looking at, it doesn't matter what the other perceptions that he used to have. It doesn't matter anymore. That's over with, and now it's time to look forward to something different coming into your life, a new phase of life, that lets go of the self-imprisonment, that lets go of the negative self-talk and moves you in a different type of direction that either integrates higher awareness with the ego, or to raise that ego mindset a little higher so it's not governing everything you do. Or it could indicate, again, a new partnership that's forming, that could be lucrative, So a decision may need to be made to let go of perceptions that no longer serve you and move forward into a positive direction. So anyhow, maybe that's going to be in store for some of you this week. If not, just hang on to it, and maybe that's coming down the road. So anyhow, thanks for watching. And I hope that if you're planting gardens, we're kind of in that phase now of taking stuff out and into the greenhouse and letting it harden off out there. We planted some of the cabbage. I have another type of cabbage I'm going to plant that a friend gave us some seeds for. And we'll see. This will be giant cabbages, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But my carrots, I'm still waiting on them to come up. My lettuce is doing well. I've been planting onions I planted from seed, and I have some onion sets I'm going to plant as well. And waiting a little bit on the corn and the potatoes, and definitely waiting on the beans. But other than that, we're in that mode. And I, over on the blog at Stepping Aside, the web address there is imsteppingaside.com. On the weekly forecast, or the week ahead, whatever it is I'm calling it. I change so much what I call things. It's like, okay, I don't like that anymore. I like this better, But anyway, up at the top of it, I have a gardening by the moon information, and I change it every week depending on what moon phase we're in. So we're trying to plant as much by the moon phases as we can, whether it's inside or outside, The outside's just a little iffy right now. Depends on what we want to do. The real tender stuff we can't do yet. So anyhow, maybe you can, though. And so I hope if you're doing that, I hope that's going well for you. I love to garden, and I've been harvesting medicinal herbs today and getting them drying. And so that's what I was doing earlier today. But some of that can happen and some of that can't. So depending on where you live. We're at 3,000 feet above sea level, so it's dicey. I mean, at best, it's dicey. So anyhow, enjoy your week and come back again on Sunday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.